What's going on YouTube? Andrew here from Do Something Everyday 2. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the filament in your 3D printer. And since I've never done this before, it should be an interesting experience for both of us. So let's start by making sure that everything's out of our way, because we're going to be working inside primarily. Let's make sure that the machine is turned on. Okay, great. Now what I'm going to do is move the extruder over to the middle so that I can easily get to everything. Okay, that should work. So I know that this is the capture to hold the filament in, and this large gear is what enables the filament to extrude through. It gets pushed through. So what I'm going to do is heat up the extruder nozzle to make sure that this is pliable, because we're going to want to get rid of all the excess glue that we have in there so far. I'm going to make it 230 degrees because this is ABS. Okay. You can go back to the main and we can see where it's at from here. 24, 230, and so on. So I got a trusty pair of scissors, which I'm going to use to chop off the excess ABS, theoretically. Okay, good. I thought that'd be a lot tougher to do. So now we can pull our old ABS through and release the retainer clip and pull the spool off. So there's actually a lot more on here than I expected, but I have a customer who wants something printed in blue, so I won't be able to use this in fear of running out. So what I'm going to do is switch it to black. That's a much different roll. This could be more interesting than I thought. Okay, we'll make sure that we put the retainer clip back on. Yep, very nice. And this was 3D printed, not by me, but by the previous owner, and it works fantastically. I do apologize for that fan noise. It's these wires slightly touching it, causing a vibration. But as you can probably see, let's see if we can zoom in on it. This little strand that's coming out, that's going to be hard to focus on. This little strand that's coming out, besides being, liquid hot magma, is actually pulling the material through currently, just slowly, because the extruder is already trying to, well, extrude. So what I've heard, since now we're up to the 200 and, well, almost at 230 degrees, is that I can turn this gear to extrude the material myself. Nope, that's going the wrong way. Good to know. I saw the material being pushed up. So that's the opposite of what we want to happen. So now we can see that, well, we will try to see. I am currently extruding it through the nozzle, manually. Good. This is easy. It's also an interestingly direct way to see at what speed it actually comes out. That's pretty cool. Huh. So we'll feed this down a little bit until I can fit the new black ABS. And I am going to cut off this little fuzzy, because I don't want that to interfere with anything. So as you can see, the filament keeps going down and down. I'll just keep pushing it a little bit further until we have enough to get the black in there. I'm going to try and film this next part using two hands and the camera around my neck, so bear with me. Okay, well, we are apparently not engaging, so let me try prying this open a little bit further and then forcing it in a little bit harder. We do not seem to be gripping it, so let me do some investigating and find out what's going on. So from the top we can get a little bit better view, and hopefully you can see that blue way down there. So I need to get right into that groove. Sit rep, it's about a half hour later and I am no better than I was, but I am still plugging away at it. I think I'm going to start removing things so I can see why things aren't lining up.
What have I done?
So what I went and did was remove the two lower mounting screws, because this is just not doing it. It's not extruding the way I need it to. So I was thinking maybe I would manually do it, but man, does that look like total garbage. Anyone that played Resident Evil 7, yeah, you should know what this looks like. So I now have this crazy idea that I'm going to manually push this through once the nozzle is heated up enough. Theoretically, it could work. I mean, we're at 113 degrees, you can't see that, but we're working our way up in the temperature. And I'm hoping that this whole thing won't burn me to death. We'll find out in a few minutes. So I probably did the exact thing I wasn't supposed to do. I'm not really sure. I yanked out that plug that was in there all the way down. As you can see, there's a little bit dangling off of it. So now I'm going to try and feed that cord all the way through, then into that, then make sure it extrudes by hand, and then I'll put it all back together, I guess. This is not going as planned. So I think this problem my whole time was the angle of the dangle. I realized that the black is very, very stiff. And as I was trying to push it through the main section up here, it just wasn't even hitting the area it was supposed to. And there was no way I could force it to do so without taking all of this off that my thumb is touching. But since the heads are stripped out, it makes it just about impossible. And I don't have a tiny little set of vice grips. But we made it work. And I didn't burn myself yet, so that's cool. I also keep forgetting, because I turned the nozzle temperature down, that I can't extrude any material unless it's 230 degrees. So the only way to work with this thing is dangerously. So yeah, we're waiting for the nozzle to heat up again so I can try and force this XX material through. Although I suppose I could pull it back? No, I want to make sure that it works right before I reassemble everything. So I don't have it all reassembled yet, but I do have the nozzle heated up, and I am able to wheel the material down with just one finger. So that's nice. So as you can probably see, that twisted mess of ABS. So all we're doing is trying to go till we see black. Once we get the black material out, that means that we can turn the temperatures back down and put in that screw, and there should be two. Ah, there it is. Okay, good. Good. It may be hard to tell, but this is all black now. So I can shut it off, let it cool down, and then put the screws back in now. So for anyone that was wondering, there's two screws that took that whole assembly off. One here and then one on the other side. And I seriously just had the other screw and now I can't find it. So, thug life. I don't know. Nuts. Seriously, the most stressful thing I've ever done on this printer. Okay, so we're all heated up to temperature. Now the real test. It's working! It's working! Okay, I think we're all set now. So my wife just came in very stealthily because she didn't want to disturb me while making the video, but look at this. Buffalo chicken, blue cheese dip, and mac and cheese, yo. I have the best wife in the whole world. Well, that's gonna wrap up this terrible episode of Do Something Every Day. I hope you learned something, because I sure did. Now I know how to replace the filament whenever I need to, and I learned a lot. Alright, thanks for watching. We will see you on the next episode. Over and out.